you is if you have ambition to be great. My job is to coach you to get all that greatness out of you.
What is good, Finn Nation? What's good? It's your boy Reason. We are back here for yet another one, everyone. And man, we got a good one for you tonight. I'm going to get into my Channing Tindall prospect profile, which I think y'all are going to like a lot. There's like 9 minutes of all 22 I clipped up, so it's going to be real nice for y'all. And then speaking of film studies are about to be taken to another level. I just got my hands on a program. And yeah, I didn't have enough time. I got it about an hour ago, started tinkering with it. I didn't have enough time to do what I wanted to do to the clips I've already put together for Tindall. So we're going to start it with Eric Azukuma. Again, y'all notice the new mic. We got the upgraded mic. Y'all are going to see the upgraded film studies. And I am only waiting on a couple, like literally 3 things. And then I'm going to be launching my rebrand. So that'll be coming. That should be coming in the next couple weeks. So I'm just waiting on literally 3 things, and then we're good to go. Appreciate each and every one of you, though, for rolling through on this Saturday. I know a lot of you are Panthers fans. Whew, tough one for y'all, huh? Tough one for y'all. My Penguins out here in the first period absolutely laying a lick into the Rangers, already 4-1. Love every minute of it. But we're going to see all y'all. We're going to see all y'all Panthers fans real quiet right now. All y'all that wanted to talk smack. Florida born, where you at right now? Florida born, where you at? So yeah, we're going to get into the Tindall stuff, man. I got about my prospect profile is about 2,000 words. So it's going to be pretty in depth, not only scouting report, things I like when you watch the film, but also, ways they could utilize them this year in year one, what I think his role could be beyond year one, et cetera, right? So, yeah, it's pretty in depth. It's about 2,000 words, all right? We don't mess around over here on Finside the NFL. Even when the draft's over, we don't stop. We aren't sitting here reading people's Wikipedia pages and such. We out here giving y'all the real. So, and then I wanted to talk about Tyreek and DK Metcalf potentially, facing off for $50K. That's a thing right now. A couple other things beyond that. The Dolphins are going to travel the 4th most distance of any team in 2022. We'll talk about that. The Dolphins brought in a wide receiver prospect. So we'll talk about that. There's just a lot to go over today, man. So, the Tindall stuff, that's just the crown jewel of this episode. But beyond that, we got a whole bunch of stuff to get into, man. I hope everyone is having an absolutely fantastic weekend so far. Man, I know my daughter's birthday was earlier this week. We got the birthday party tomorrow. So pretty hyped for that, getting set up for that. Just spent the day cleaning, getting everything arranged. And so, yeah, man, I hope all of y'all are having a blessed week and a blessed weekend as we come up. Monday is only 48 hours away. Need I remind all of y'all? So let's see what we got going on here. What's for dinner tomorrow night? We're going to ordering from a Hakka place. So what Hakka is, it's basically Indian and Chinese fusion. I know that's what's crazy, Scotty. 4th longest, farthest distance to travel, and don't even have an international game. You know what I mean? If we had an international game, imagine how high we'd be on that, right? So cold in New York right now, huh? It's whatever weather out here, man. We got some rocking the shirts today, man. Rocking a sweater, a little hot. It's not all igloos and Eskimos up here in Canada. Let me tell you that. All right. You know what? We're about 5 minutes in. I'm gonna wait till about the 10-minute mark, and then we'll probably hop into the Channing Tindall stuff. I wanted to, where's all the people? I'm surprised I didn't go after live and have to start verifying stories and telling the truth about what happened at the freaking Panthers game with Tua. I'm surprised no one made no one's gonna make videos that a real leader wouldn't be out here drinking beers on a Friday night. He should be at home learning the playbook more. Where's the videos for all those guys always reaching for crapping on Tua? Man, I'm real shocked I didn't have to go live and straighten that out, man. kudos to you. You guys are getting a little bit better, man. Appreciate it. Less work for me having to counteract the terrible narratives. Unbelievable. Thank you, Corey. I appreciate that. But you know what I mean? It was nice. You know what was surprising though? Seeing Greg Little there with them. Like, was I the only one shocked that saw that Greg Little was out there hanging out with little boys? Like, this man's one of the boys? Really? Okay. I mean, I guess. I guess. So that was kind of interesting. Other than that, real slow, man, as we come across rookie minicamp and such is going to be coming up very shortly. I believe it's this week, I think. Is it? So we got a lot of stuff coming up. Yeah, Tindall does look good, man. He got really fun film, bro. That guy lays the lumber. His sideline speed is crazy. The guy's range is hell. I got to give him props. He's crazy range to his game. Big fan of him, man. Big fan of him. Still needs, like, it's crazy. The play action bites, though, like, whoo! I ain't lying when I told y'all what I said to you about certain things in coverage he needs to get better at. Like, play action bites, even in the run game. He is just play action is just he loves biting on play action, man. That's for one thing I've noticed about him. But you can just coach that out of him. I ain't worried. Yeah, Greg Little doesn't just need to focus on hanging out with Armstead. That's all he really needs to do, bud. That's it. Man, playoff hockey is a beautiful thing. I know some of y'all are just one sport people, but hardest trophy to win in sports, man. Hardest trophy to win in sports. Tindall will be a starter week 1. I wanted Chanel. I wanted Chanel. I was fine with either or. Either one was the right pick, but I would have preferred. I think Chanel is more pro ready. I don't know, man. I don't see Tindall being a starter week 1. I see a guy who, as the season progresses, his snap count's gonna go up. That's what I think. I don't think he's gonna be starting week 1. I wouldn't put my eggs in that basket. I really think, I'm gonna explain how I see his usage, how I see it year 1 and beyond. I'm not just gonna talk about year 1. And the quicker he picks things up, the easier it's gonna make life for guys like Jerome Baker. You know what I mean? So Jerome Baker, I talk about it in my little profile preview. He gets caught overthinking a lot, right? And if you got a guy inside, a true Mike that can do all the thinking and directing, and he can just direct traffic, well, then a guy like Baker, instead of having all these responsibilities on his plate and overthinking, he can just read and react. Just use his speed and read and react. So that's what's better about it. Chanel's a fine scheme fit, man. Come on, man. Don't talk to me about scheme fits. Leo Chanel's a fine scheme fit. Go watch how he was used, man. Literally all over the line. Edge, Will, Sam, Mike, Chanel can literally fit in anywhere, man. That guy's scheme versatile with how he plays in his athleticism. He had a higher relative athletic score than Channing Tindall. So Leo Chanel is a 4-3 or a 3-4 fit, man. I'm not worried about that at all. So let's get into this. Let's break down the Tindall stuff. Like I said, this is gonna be the last one of these raw all 22 clip ups you're gonna see, because I'm gonna be taken to the next level when I start with Eric Azukama this week. All right. So enjoy this. All right, let's get into this. Already 170 of you in the room. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you are new. We just passed 7,800. Let's get to 8,000. Shout out to the homie. I got a PayPal donation here. Shout out to the homie Mems. for the $5 donation. Appreciate you, my guy. No message, but I appreciate you, man. Always supporting the show, always holding me down, brother. Appreciate it. Let's get into this. Let's kill. Boom. All right. I'm going to actually go away. I'm just going to do my usual. I'm going to narrate for y'all. All right. Give you my report while I play the film. So yeah, his fun film, man. Such a good tackler, such a sure tackler, man. He's good to watch, man. The potential is ridiculous in this guy. Unbelievable. So let's get this started, man. I really do think Channing Tindall is Miami's future Mike, and I'll explain why I say future. Because I think, you're going to have to start him off, letting him do what he's comfortable doing in year one. And we'll talk about that. So let's get into this. All right, guys. The 2022 NFL draft, when it's all said and done, looks like a class that may be full of mid to late round steals. And the Dolphins selection at 102 in the third round, Georgia linebacker Channing Tindall has the potential to be one of the biggest. Tindall was a finalist for USA Today's National Defensive Player of the Year as a senior in high school, as well as the number 5 ranked inside linebacker in his recruiting class that also included Jack Sanborn, Damone Clark, and Jesse Luketa, who were all ranked below him. By the end of it, too, Channing Tindall had the least snaps of all of them and outdrafted them all as well, speaking volumes to the ceiling Tindall has potential-wise. When you watch Channing Tindall on tape, the first thing you'll notice is his athleticism, speed, and crazy pursuit ability, which is saying a lot considering we're all Dolphin fans who, no matter how you feel about Jerome Baker, the player, no one will deny his closing speed is some of the best in the league. But what separates Tindall from Baker to me is Tindall takes better angles and uses his speed smarter in the football field, whether blitzing, pursuing, and in the run game. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Tindall improves his ball instincts, diagnosing ability, and overall anticipation and coverage. It's going to be a very special player here when it's all said and done, but we'll speak more about that a little later. When I talk about players who have more pop than a can of soda, Tindall displays that when he comes downhill firing full cylinder. He also shows a toughness with his willingness to take on and fight off blocks, which again, long-term, being there already this young in his career will separate him from a guy like Jerome Baker and make him a better fit on the interior as linebacker in whatever hybrid 3-4-4-3 scheme Boyer and the staff wishes to deploy. I also think once he settles in, which I wouldn't expect all to happen in year one, but again, anything is possible and the light can go on, Tindall may take a lot of the responsibilities off Baker's shoulders. I say this because the defensive staff the last 2 years have started each season off with a play full of responsibilities for Baker, then reverting him back to an off-ball blitzer when they see it doesn't work. I expect Landon Roberts to assume that leadership role to start the year off instead of taking it over midway through the season, but a lot of the same read and recognition, instinct, and overall intangible deficiencies lack with Roberts as they do with Baker. This is why Roberts is best suited as a backup, and Baker is more of a Leo type of linebacker, whereas what I see on Tindall's tape is the early stages of a true Mike at the next level. He looks more instinctual than Baker or Roberts on tape, understands angles better on tape than what I see from Baker and Roberts, and most of all is already a far better run defender than both, which is crazy because Tindall's surface hasn't even been scratched as a pro. I do think the smart thing is to have Roberts take him under his wing, make him a rotational Mike in year one, and up his snap count as the season progresses to begin the transition, especially since Robert is back on only a one-year deal. What's awesome, too, is Tindall is a player whose combine verified the freak athlete you see on tape. He was a track star in high school as well with shot put and discus, but clearly should have ran track as he clocked in at just under 6'2", 230 pounds, then proceeded to run a 4.47 40, whereas Jerome Baker, for example, ran a 4.53 at just under 6'1" and 229 pounds. Tindall's athleticism is so evident in the open field or when his sideline-to-sideline speed is on display. If he reads and reacts properly, not many running backs can beat him to the edge, and not many receivers can beat him to the sideline. The speed potential of the Miami Dolphins interior looks to mimic kind of what the offense has speed-wise, and to be honest, it's very intriguing to me. If Tindall can adapt to the NFL level by year 2 or 3, take command of the defense in the front seven and direct traffic, including Baker, you could see a spike in Baker's game because a lot of times, like I said, Baker overthinks instead of reacting, whereas with someone dependable as the Mike in the middle, I truly believe Baker will just be allowed to react and not think as much. This is why he's so successful as an off-the-ball blitzer, but, to utilize him in other areas, he's got to stop overthinking, which would help this defense tremendously. Until those instincts fully develop, though, I think you could see him rotate with Roberts, like I mentioned earlier, and even be used as a weak side blitzer and cover zero and blitz packages, especially with that speed. It's also best to get his feet wet and develop him with what he's most comfortable doing, slowly adding responsibilities to the plate one by one instead of overbearing a rookie. His versatility as a Mike or a Will is probably a huge reason, I think, why Greer and McDaniel were so high on him. I'm sure defensive coordinator Josh Boyer and linebacker coach Anthony Campanelli are super excited to tinker with the second-level versatility Tindall possesses this year, too. So I wouldn't pigeonhole Tindall to one spot quite yet. Training camp and the preseason is definitely going to have to play itself out in regards to his usage heading into the season, but a rotational Mike and Will who strongly utilize in blitz packages and a run stopper early on before snap count and responsibilities increase does seem like a safe bet. Two other aspects of Tindall's game that benefit from him playing bigger than he really is at the position has to be his ability to shed blocks, just how sure of a tackler he is. I know I mentioned earlier how he can be a very violent hitter, but he's also quite fundamentally sound, staying square and using every bit of his frame to take down a ball carrier while cleanly and consistently wrapping. Like all big hitters who play aggressively when he's over-aggressive, that's when you'll see his technique suffer a little bit if it ever does. The reason why I mentioned his ability to shed blocks also is because it's refreshing to see, once again, a guy that doesn't have the same deficiencies Jerome Baker and Atlanta Roberts does. This is also a big contributor as to why Tindall can be so effective against the run. I love his motor, too. He has a motor that runs on what seems to be an endless amount of fuel and a competitive nature that is noticeable on every rep he takes on the football field. After all, Tindall was the definition of making the most of the cards dealt to you with that Georgia defense last season. Channing Tindall is the epitome of a player who tries to make the most out of a play, given that he was buried behind on the depth chart. He had to. And I think this has instilled a work rate that is second to none. I also think his attitude has helped him to become not only a super coachable player, but also infectious in the locker room. That's the kind of trait you want in a leader and future captain of your defense. He's willing and able to continue to contribute wherever he's asked. You only have to look over all 4 years of his time at college, and you'll notice he was a constant special teams contributor as well. Tindall is just as hungry to be on the field competing as anyone else, and that's a formula to a long-term success and potential greatness at any level you play at. I wanted to pivot back to what I touched on earlier regarding what I said about Tindall and coverage, which I think is the only real true weakness of his game. He can mirror tight ends and man, but receivers and running backs are a completely different story. Good route runners and shifty route runners with good body twitch are a real problem for him. The majority of his 204 coverage snaps came in zone, though, where he can get caught late reacting and diagnosing, as like I said, he doesn't possess the same instincts and anticipation and coverage that he does against the run. Also, he can overstep on play action, getting him caught out of position. Now, again, lack of coverage instincts, which I attribute to the fact he only had a total of 65 coverage snaps between 2019 and 2020 before he jumped to 204 coverage snaps in 2021. His lack of anticipation and instincts in coverage also has translated to him not having a single pass breakup or interception as a senior when he did get that spike in coverage snaps. When you look at Tindall right now in coverage, his low amount of reps over a 4-year span makes him a little bit more of a projection. But with the high football IQ he's displayed in other areas, I think good coaching and development can clean up this part of his game. When it's all said and done, I gave this pick of Channing Tindall at 102 by the Dolphins an A grade. He feels a need long-term in Miami. I think he can develop into the Mike we need with coaching, but I expect him to play more of a will role with a rotational interior usage, while also used heavily in blitz packages due to his athleticism. He is going to stand out as our best run defender at the second level as a rookie in 2022, I believe. He has a super high ceiling. I think we not only have the staff in Miami to cultivate and grow his talent as a pro, but I think he's also surrounded by a nice amount of talent on all three levels of this defense that will help expedite his growth. I always speak about players being drafted into environments and how situations matters. Well, I don't know if there's a better situation or environment for Tindall to be drafted into this league than onto this Miami Dolphins defense. Just ask Jaylen Phillips and Javon Holland, who are grand slams in last year's draft, not just home runs, and on this defense as rookies. I think Tindall has all the tools in the world to continue that streak for this defense. I mean, I know you guys have been watching the film. I mean, you look at him inside, follow out with the motion, and just look at how he fires off and just gets enough of them, keeps him down. He's just a sure tackle, got in front of him and locked them down. Listen, I can't say enough great things about when you watch Channing Tindall. He's so explosive from his first step to how he finishes a tackle. This kid has the makings to be something real special at this level. If he gets the coaching and he gets the development that all rookies need, I'm telling you guys right now, by year 2 or year 3, we've got our Mike linebacker. And if Baker is still on this team, the speed of that interior, and they can still add to it next offseason and such, is going to be really something to behold, man. It's a different thing when that speed is only being used in pursuit. But with a guy like this who can utilize it in pursuit, in coverage, and you see it pop out at you as a run defender, I'm telling you, that is the makings of a really great player. So as long as his football IQ is what I've seen on tape, which seems to be very high, like I think it is, I think he's going to pick up the defense pretty quickly. He's going to settle in, and I think by year 2, year 3, we're going to see this kid to start really take off. And I would not be shocked if we see him pop, flash, and stand out consistently in year 1. He has all the tools to be that kind of player. Dolphin fans should be excited. Leo Chanel or Channing Tindall was the right pick at 102. I don't think you could have went wrong with either one. So I don't think they went wrong with Channing Tindall. I think they got a fantastic player, and I'm excited to watch him as a rookie in his defense. So that's my thoughts on Channing Tindall, guys. I think the guy's got a ton of potential, man. A ton of potential. And I saw we had a $100 bomb. I just noticed it. I got to bring it up. Man, 80850 says, happy birthday donation for your daughter. Man, I appreciate you, my guy. I'm not even going to try and butcher the Samoan. I'm not even going to try and butcher the Samoan. I appreciate you, my dude. Thank you very much, sir. Putting that towards the Barbie camper that we bought her. But, I mean, you watch this guy. I'm telling you, man, there is a lot to be excited about when you watch Channing Tindall on tape. I mean, he is, really, he's got the length to be good in coverage too. That's what I'm saying. He got all the tools to be coached up. That anticipation, that's just reps, and film work. All right? That's all that is. And I think you see him biting on certain things because he just had another reps. And he just doesn't have the work put in as a starter yet. But it's going to happen, man. It's going to happen. And I'm excited to see it. I cannot wait. I appreciate you, 80850. I said, big Maloha to you, reason all your hard work. I appreciate you, man. And, this week we're going to do Eric Azukama. And, not only going to be the upgraded film study that I've been talking about, but y'all are going to see a weapon for Tua in action too, and a weapon for this offense. That's going to give you a lot of pause for excitement. A lot of pause for excitement, man. So I think, I think this is going to be, a guy who plays through traffic better, sheds block better. He's going to make life easier for Jerome Baker, Channing Tindall. The quicker he picks it up, the quicker life will get easier. And I think you'll see like tangible results from Baker, not shallow tackle statistics. You know what I mean? So I'm a fan. I am a fan of Channing Tindall, man. Really am. All right, so let's keep rolling here, guys. Let's talk about Tyreek Hill and DK Metcalf. So this is how it's set off. This was what DK Metcalf said on, I believe, Club Shay Shay, which is Shannon Sharp's pod. Let's see.
You not run Tyreek?
I'm not gonna stop shaking my head.
Hold on, time out. Hold on. I'm not finna let you do this. I'm not finna let you do this, DK. DK Metcalf is sitting here today in Club Shay Shay telling me he could outrun Tyreek Hill. I'm talking about Tyreek Reed Cheetah, the one that was Kansas City, now he's in Miami. That was number 10.
You can give him 10 more nicknames.
Wow.
It's still gonna be the same person to me.
Wow.
Hey, I'm just saying I got a different type of speed. I got a DK speed. Just like cheetah,
Yeah.
cheetah speed.
Yeah.
I got DK speed, and that's just me.
Rick, you heard this, man. Rick, I need you're gonna have, when this is released, you will have 48 hours to respond to this man. This man said he could outrun you. I gave you like 6 nicknames. He said he don't care how many nicknames I give you, you still can't outrun him. Just putting that out there, Tyreek.
Wow.
You can outrun Tyreek?
I mean,
I'm not one.
DK, let's talk a minute. Let's talk a second here, bud. You know, what are we running here? Are we running a 40? I mean, are we running a 40? Bro, you ran like a 4.68. Or like a 4.66. You ran in the mid 4.6s. You're really out here saying you're going to keep up with a guy that runs a 4.2. Come on. Let's stop with that. Let's stop, Metcalf. So, obviously, you know Tyreek gonna pop off. Tyreek about to pop off and say, I don't know, kid. So this is what Tyreek said. So that's Tyreek's. That should be his facial expression when you heard that. Like, stop. So DK Metcalf believes he could beat Tyreek Hill in a one-on-one race. Hill wants Metcalf to put his money where his mouth is. The Miami Dolphins receiver responded to Metcalf on Twitter, offering to put up $50,000 on the line for charity in a potential race. Put up $50K and the money goes to any charity you want if you win. I DM you and you were scared. I got receipts. Metcalf might want to wait until he signs a new contract to put that money on the line. He's likely feeling a little Hill's probably feeling a little financially frisky after inking a $120 million deal with the Dolphins. Metcalf hasn't signed his long-term deal yet. Metcalf also noted he may want to hold off until he's fully healthy. Don't worry, brother. I got you. I got them too. And, I mean, there you go. He basically said, call me out when I'm in a boot. So he claims now DK says he's in a boot. DK, you kind of put it out there yourself, bud. As far as who would win the race, Hill would be a favorite. Just not by as much as you think. Oh, hold on. Metcalf ran a 4.33. Oh, out of high school, he ran a 4.6. That's what I'm saying. He ran a 4.33. Oh, shit. I thought he ran a. Wow, I got confused. So he ran a 4.6 out of high school. And once he became a full grown man and an athlete, he ran a 4.33. Whoo! Shaving that off. Whew. Tyreek ran a 4.29 at his pro day. But I would bet to say both are actually probably better athletes than they were when they were drafted. Man, I forgot DK was a 4.3, man. Shit. And we traded a pick where we could have drafted him for Josh Rosen. My God, my apologies on getting that. I was reading his high school 40. Man, good for him shaving 0.3 seconds off since high school. Woo. So, man, that is interesting. Why not throw Waddle in it too? Hill has posted 2 of the 3 fastest in-game speeds tracked by the NFL Next Gen Stats. Metcalf has a slight advantage of being 4 years of Hill's junior. Yeah. There's no way he'll outrun him, though. I mean, Hill is a much lighter man. You know, DK's leg. Yeah, I agree with you, Kenny. DK's long legs may help him out, but he's carrying like more weight. Yeah, so 4.6 out of high school, runs a 4.33 at the combine. Jeez. Holy, what an athlete he became in high school, eh? My God. Whew. Again, I apologize for screwing those numbers up, but I got them right now. Phew. I think I'm still putting my money on Tyreek. He's just lighter and lower center of gravity. He's gone. He's flying. I wouldn't be surprised if he could run a 4.27. You know, like I think Waddle would be a bigger challenge for Tyreek Hill personally. But I mean, where are we signing up, man? I don't know how old some of y'all are, but I remember when Donovan Bailey raced Michael Johnson at the Skydome because they were like talking so much smack, and then Johnson pulled up with the hammy, brutal. After Donovan set the world record at the 100-meter world record at the Olympics. I mean, hey, can I say this? If they're doing it, hey, you're doing it for charity. It's a good cause, man. Y'all remember when Randy Savage challenged Hogan to a fight for charity? Love it. Hey, anything for charity, man. Guys, interesting thing. I think that's gonna, because Eric Ezekima is another red zone threat. I think he's gonna be a big red zone threat in year one, but we'll talk about it this week when I break him down. Top 10 red zone QBs in 2021. Oh baby, who's number one? Someone tell me who it is. I'm sorry, my eyes don't work. I suddenly turned into Jaylen. Sorry, I suddenly turned into Ray Charles. Someone tell me who's number one. I can't quite read it. Who is the number one quarterback in the NFL in 2021 based on EPA? Huh? In case what EPA, people don't remember what EPA is, it's expected points added. So it's a measure of how well a team performs relative to expectation. So just in case y'all forgot. So based upon EPA, to that man, isn't he? Sorry, my eyes started working again. Thanks. I just got to say, based on EPA, to that dude in the red zone, isn't he? Isn't he? And remember, EPA, expected points added, is a measure of how well a team performs relative to the expectation. So there you go. Shout out to the homie Tua, the red zone monster. Get it. Get it. Shout out to Tua. Love it. Interesting thing here, guys. I wanted to show you guys, especially with remember, schedule release is coming up this week. So be on the lookout. You know, I'll be going live when that drops. Check this one out, guys. Real interesting here. This long list, I'll zoom in for you guys. 32 NFL travel totals for upcoming season. The Miami Dolphins will travel over 25,000 miles and into 14 different time zones. Look at, tell me how like Jacksonville, Denver, and Seattle, they're in 22, 32, 34 time zones. Dolphins in 14, but we're right with them with travel. So again, another season full of a lot of travel for the Miami Dolphins. So fourth most travel distance again. Schedule coming next week. Excited to see. Man, give us I want to see the Bills early on. I want to see how they're going to handle our defense. Our offense. So there you go. The Dolphins they're going to be traveling. They're going to be traveling, man. Traveling, man. And, again, the schedule is going to be on Thursday. All right. And if you want to know the team that travels the fewest miles, the Steelers actually will travel the fullest. The Steelers will travel the least amount of miles. And get this, the Steelers don't leave the Eastern time zone all season. So out here just trying to help out Kenny Pickett, small hands Kenny, but ain't gonna help it out. We're still gonna say at one point in the season, "Oh my God, they killed Kenny, you bastards!" It's gonna happen one time this season, I guarantee you. I can guarantee you. Another interesting thing, guys. Remember, I showed you guys, what our projection of our offensive line was. Where we were projected to be. Well, that same guy, Ben Baldwin, who did that fantastic chart. Remember where he took PFF grades, and he said it was based on PFF grades and next gen stats and such. An ESPN pass block win rate and such. And you saw how highly we were ranked. Well, now, oh man, 4-2. Yeah. So sorry. Now what he's done is he made it a new chart. He's made a new chart. It's kind of it's based on expected points added again. And so what he's done is he's taken offensive line rankings and pass protection after the draft, and it's projected off the current 5 starters listed on the Our Lads depth chart. And this is where we rank on PEPA. So again, another form of expected points added, and it's not actually that optimistic as we'd like it to be. You can see the Dolphins land right here at 26. And I mean, that is, it's not the most encouraging thing in the world, obviously. But 26 would be better than historically bad 32. I mean, I'm not going to be the one to lie and say that it wouldn't be. Now, do I think we can be better than this? Of course. These are just projections. But again, this is basically PEPA, that another level of expected points added. That's projected expected points added. All right, that's what PEPA stands for, not Peppa Pig. And the EPA is based on pass protection grades at each position. So this is our projected expected points added. And so this is going to be relative to our performance and our success, and it's based off past grades. So, I mean, it could be worse. We could be in the negatives. But, I mean, Connor Williams and Terran Armstead only did so much to this offensive line because Dieter, and then I don't know who the starter is on Our Lads. It's either Eichenberg or Jackson. Let me check right now. It is... It is, let me see. I'd run right tackle. Our Lads has Liam Eichenberg. So their line is Armstead, Williams, Dieter, Hunt, Eichenberg. That's what they have it as, and that's where our projected expected points added are. It's pretty low. It's pretty low. You can see, Cincy, they've gotten better, right? They've gotten better. So still rough projections, but hey, it's just a projection. Got to let the year play itself out, right? Projections are just nice to look at. Expectations, right? That's all. I wanted to show you guys this from Cameron Wolf. A player he thinks is going to break out this year. And he's basically warning NFL defenses, don't sleep on Jaylen Waddle.
Up and get to the gym. Mike Giardi can't be the most chiseled guy among us NFL Network reporters. But a lot of Dolphins talk this offseason on Tyreek Hill and Mike McDaniel and Terran Armstead, and rightfully so. But listen to me when I tell you, don't sleep on Jaylen Waddle. Remember when McDaniel took the job, the guy that he was most excited about was Waddle. He made that clear. Waddle broke Anquan Bolden's single-season record of receptions with 104 last year as Tua's go-to receiver. And one thing he said this offseason, he wants to improve his yards per catch. So the presence of Tyreek Hill should open up more opportunities for Waddle to get those intermediate and deep shots. So keep an eye on having an evolved role for Waddle. And I'll leave you with this fun Dolphins nugget here on a huge F1 race weekend in South Florida. Waddle has confirmed that he and Hill will race this offseason. He said when the media gets in town, we'll get out there and watch. He said, I got to see who's the fastest. You can't race a cheetah straight up. You got to sneak up on them. So I'm asking everyone out there in the NFL Network control room, let's make sure we are there, have cameras, mics, let's do interviews. Let's see who truly is the fastest man.
I mean, interesting stuff. The people really want to see these races, huh? Like, we are out here not caring about a single man's hamstring. They just want to see these races. It is like, it's just speed all over here, huh? It's kind of crazy, man. It's kind of crazy. Something else I wanted to show you guys too. PFF, they put out a list, interesting list that had everyone all excited. Why wouldn't it? Because there's a couple names on here that I know people want to see. But they put out a list in regards to free agent signings that make kind of the most sense after the draft. And they have the Dolphins on this list twice, and this is called perfect landing spots. And they got JC Tretter and Melvin Ingram as perfect landing spots. And I know all of y'all are just going to get so uber duper excited because that's your everyone wants Tretter. Everyone, that's the name to cap off this offense. Personally, I'm down for Tretter as like a 1-year stopgap. I really am. I mean, well, I'm fine with that. Reports are that, he wasn't even practicing all week when he was at the Browns. His knees were in a position where he was just strapping them up. You know what I mean? So, hey, I'm down. I'm down for JC Tretter. Now, Melvin Ingram, I'm interested to see what that market's going to happen. Now, I know he's been UFA tendered, right? So I get all that, but I think as a rotational piece on that edge, it gives a lot of flexibility, to this defense. But we need depth at edge. Now, Cameron Good is just strictly a pass rusher. That's all he is right now. He's going to be a special team contributor and a pass rusher. We need a little something more than that. We really do. So, that's kind of where I'm at. You know what I mean? Now, another thing here that I think you're going to find interesting. I'd be down for Tretter. We got the money. I mean, make it work. Cap off this team. Tretter can help Dieter, or he can get you in a position to wait for the next guy to come next year that you want to draft or sign. Tretter, to me, would just be a stopgap answer. I do think, from what I hear, his asking price is gonna have to come down just a little bit. But I mean, hey, if you add Ingram and JC Tretter to this team, what a freaking offseason. My God. You get me all of my feelings here. Former Washington State University wide receiver Calvin Jackson, who's trying out with the Jets this weekend, also has an invite to try out for the Dolphins next week. He turned down 2 other tryouts in favor of the AFC East squads. Pretty interesting here stuff, man. This is a kid who, this year he had 987 yards, 7 touchdowns. Obviously didn't get drafted. I think his father played at Dillard High School before playing at Auburn University, and his dad actually paid for the Dolphins as an undrafted free agent. He started 57 games for the Dolphins. Tragically, he obviously passed away this past year. So, interesting little thing here. Jackson looking to continue to potentially continue a little bit of his family's legacy in South Florida. All the props to the kid. Man, keep on the family legacy. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna say nothing. But you look at his pro day, because he had 10'4" broad, 36 vertical jumps. I think he had 13 bench reps, a 4.26 20-yard shuttle, and then he was projected to run a 4.48, and he ran a 4.52. So interesting. The thing is, he's a little bit on the smaller side. That is the one thing I will say about Calvin Jackson. He's like, I think he's like what, 5? I think he's like 5'9"ish. 5'9"ish. I think he's 5'9", like 183 or 190. Let me look up his weight for y'all right now. I'm pretty sure stature wise he's not that big. So I think it's 5'10", 190. So hey, interesting addition potentially to the team. Again, right now, camp body. Look at the receivers. Like, Jesus, we are going to have like 23 receivers trying out for 6 or 7 spots. Holy my God. We are loving the receivers right now. Chad Ocho Cinco is apparently so much of a Dolphins fan. He's using we and our out here when he speaks about our Dolphins. Someone asked, what's your take on Tua and Miami's new revamped offense? Playoff bound? With the new additions to our roster, the Dolphins are winning the AFC East. McDaniel's creativity offensively will pose a difficult challenge for defenses and their coordinators. Our offense is equivalent to a woman after getting a BBL. We'll exude confidence like never before. Now, this guy is too much. Chad out here just killing it. But, I mean, hey, Chad out here rooting for the home team. I ain't going to hate. Are you? Shout out to him for holding us down. Damn. I didn't know he was such a fan. I really didn't know he was such a fan. But, even, former players here, an example of a former player noticing McDaniel's creativity. And look at what he says. Will pose a difficult challenge for defenses. I've been telling y'all, there's going to be a legit learning curve at hand here, I think. I don't think coordinators and defenses are just going to walk on the field and shut us down. I just don't see that happening. Now, it may happen. I just don't see it happening. I don't. And, maybe when the second time against the Bills, maybe they start to figure things out. That's a possibility I see. But I just don't. I see it. Man, I told y'all I would not be surprised if he came out averaging like 28 to 30 points. I really wouldn't. So, and I know that's kind of crazy to say because of where we've been as an offense the past 3 years, really, and how stagnant we've been at times. But again, that creativity that Ocho's mentioning, it's hard to overlook, man. It really is. So, man, is it September yet? Check your pulse, baby. Like, check your pulse. Check your freaking pulse. Now, Shout out to Eddie for the $9.99 donation. Appreciate you, homie. All right. I know people want to hear my opinion on this because I saw you guys asking it earlier. What are my thoughts on the Bridgewater comment by by Omar in regarding if Tua doesn't play well, etc. Well, I mean, it was obviously, it's Captain Obvious. If he's injured or he stinks the bed, he's going to get pulled. I mean, I don't think we're going to sit here and lose football games just for the sake of losing football games and hoping he turns the corner. But why are we even worried about that? Tua hasn't shown us that, he's going to go on a straight skid. I mean, go look at the Atlanta and the Jacksonville games. Would we have lost those in the final minute with competent coaching? No. Gave us the lead against the Falcons. Didn't leave the field losing against the Jags. Both times the coaching cost us that game. Our lead defense wasn't coached well enough. They were put in a position to not be overly successful, constantly running zone when this team is built to be a man team. So, listen. I get people want to jump all over at him because he wasn't saying anything new. There's nothing new under the sun, especially with what he said. Shout out to Jim for the $20 donation. Appreciate you guys. Wait for the Eric Azukuma. That prospect profile will be coming this week too. I'm probably going to drop it before. I'm going to drop it on Thursday or Friday, I think. And I'm going to be changing the style of film study. So I was starting to tinker with this one before I did, but I ran out of time. So, but anyways, I know everyone wants to be hard and kill Omar, and that's cool. Everyone's going to have their opinion. But, right or wrong, agree with it or not, at least Omar tries to keep it honest with us. Sometimes the things he says, and obviously I had an issue with how vague he was about the work ethic stuff. But hey, he wasn't lying when he said, on Big O, I'll come up here on Big O and say things that other guys won't say. They'll tap dance around it. I agree with that. You know what I mean? One of the reasons why I respect Omar is because, again, agree with him or disagree with him, he says what he feels, whether we agree with it or not. So you got to appreciate that. You know what I mean? Especially when you got guys like Joe Shad and such like that in this market. I mean, you got some real you got a bunch of, I'll give Omar credit too. He watches film. He tries to be better in terms of understanding the game. Well, you got these guys out here who they only know where to place the period and the comma. They don't know the stuff about the game, right? Like, that's the issue. I listen to some of these guys, like Cameron Wolf knows the game. Joe Shad doesn't know the game. Hal Habib doesn't know the game. You know what I mean? Josh Tolentino, when he was here, didn't really know the game. Like, I think Daniel and David, the young guys that have come up, they know the game better than a couple of these old cats. Hal Habib doesn't really know the game that well, I think. Just because you've been covering for 30 years does not mean you know it well. That's why I get mad when people say, well, I've been watching football since before you're born. Okay. And? Doesn't mean anything. It's because you've been watching something longer than I have. Doesn't mean, what do you want, a gold star? It doesn't make you an authority on it. Because, I mean, there's guys who watch football for 50 years, can't break down film. Can't diagnose and tell you what's wrong. Can't give you scouting reports. Okay, so I ain't trying to hear that. And the same thing kind of plays over here with this. So, Hal Habib, Joe Shad, like, sure, you guys watch the game, but the difference between watching the game and knowing it, right? Like, when I heard Joe Shad up there on Big O months ago, and he couldn't explain one of Tua's interceptions to Waddle, when all you got to do is watch the film and break it down, and a casual could freaking explain it, I just was done. I was like, why am I going to listen to these people? Here's the thing, and you're going to learn about this whether you know me personally or you don't. I watch stuff where I learn. If I'm going to watch you and you're not going to teach me anything, or I'm not going to learn anything new while I'm watching you, my time's too precious. Same thing with reading your articles or listening to podcasts. If I'm going to learn anything new, why am I going to waste my time? Between my kids and my wife and my personal life and this channel and my other podcast with Richmond, why would I sit there and waste my time reading an article or listening to someone or watching someone say something that I know already or don't need them to figure out? And that's the problem with a lot of the Dolphins media. That's exactly the problem with the Dolphins media. You don't learn anything when you read these guys unless it's like an inside story. But none of these guys, we can put them in front of a chalkboard and ain't none of them breaking anything down. Ain't none of them. And that's an issue, man. I truly think the people that should be relaying you information on any industry should be highly educated in that industry. For example, okay, why am I going to want a burger flipper at McDonald's to teach the guys at Dunkin' Donuts how to make a chocolate glazed donut? It makes no sense whatsoever. It makes no sense whatsoever. So that's where I'm at with this whole Dolphins media and stuff. Like, I know he was saying something clearly obvious. I get that. But, hey, here's the deal. The deal is this. Until these guys leave, they're situated. Until we get new blood infused, they're situated. You're going to have to put up with guys you don't like and the guys you do like. That's it. It's like in anything. So, listen. He might have told us some Captain Obvious stuff, but I ain't going to hate on him. It is what it is. It is what it is. I can give him this props. At least Omar tries. At least he tries. So, the thing is, sometimes people want a bunch of rainbows shot up their ass, and it's just that's the last guy that's going to do it to you guys. So, I don't know. I don't have really many feelings on it. He said something that we all clearly understand and knew. Other than that, I'm not going to drag the guy. Like I said, there's better time being spent dragging these other clowns out here that only know where to put periods and commas. They don't actually know the game they're trying to talk to us about and report on. Okay? It's like, give me football minds that are journalists, not journalists trying to speak like they know football. It's embarrassing. So, anyways, guys, I see you get us fired up. Why don't you, Reason? Hey, I'm not trying to fire anyone up. I'm just like, hey, it's not worth. Listen, not a lot of this stuff is worth even just wasting your energy on, let alone talking about it. But if he would have said something like, he was very vague about the work ethic stuff instead of giving everyone the details, okay, I'd have an opinion on it. But he basically said something we all know, and I guess because it's a really slow season, people want to jump on all that. But to me, it's like, whatever. I mean, I'm not going to crucify someone for saying if Tua gets hurt or if Tua, stinks it up, that this could become Teddy Bridgewater's team. I mean, it is what it is. But all right, guys, here's the deal. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to be back on Monday. And yeah, we're going to go over. I got a couple other things I wanted to go over. And then this week we're going to do Eric Ezekuma prospect profile is going to be coming for y'all. And I'm working on a couple other things. So listen, as always, everyone, stay happy, healthy, safe, and blessed. Smash that like button. Still over 300 of you in the room right now. Smash that like button, guys. Smash it. Smash it. Smash it. Help me out with my friend Al. Algorithm. All right? I see you, ball game. What's good, homie? Guys, go check on dolphinstalk.com. The latest episode of The Finish Line with myself, Richmond Webb, and ball game is available. You can find the description down below. Also in the description down below, the latest episode of Fin Too Deep featuring myself and Neil Driscoll is available to listen to on all major streaming platforms. We discuss the 2022 NFL draft class for the Dolphins, as well as the draft in total. So So both are very good listens. If you want some extra content for tomorrow or tonight, go check in the description below. Newest episode of Fin Too Deep and The Finish Line are available. As always, guys, stay happy, healthy, safe, and blessed. Fins up all day, every day, baby. I will see all y'all on Monday.